So, when I platinumed Borderlands 2, it was first off the first Borderlands game I'd ever platinumed. Second, if we're counting Tales of the Borderlands. And second, I was living with my dad at the time. We're gonna rewind back to 2016, and pretty much at that time I was jobless. I didn't really have a lot going on. So playing through Borderlands 2, it was something I kind of just did to kill time. I wasn't really doing anything. Jobs weren't coming out at the time. So this one's always going to be rememberable for just being the last one I got on my dad's place. It was one of the ones that really got me into RPGs and new shooters, even though they're still not my favorite ones. This was the first one I was like, oh, okay, maybe this could be my cup of tea, as it were. Borderlands 2 is absolutely insane for all the right reasons. Well, now I do want to say that this is not, the version I platinumed. I platinumed the Game of the Year edition, which, when I went to go back and pick up the game to record it for the video, I just couldn't find. Now I did have to play this game a couple of times going through. The first time I played it through, it was because it had just come out and I really wanted to play a game with my friend. And my friend I just heard about Borderlands and he was all into it and he was like, okay, let's go and play Borderlands. And this was the game that we kind of built our friendship around at the time. Everyone else had Halo and Call of Duty. We had Borderlands. Borderlands 2 was the apex, in my opinion, out of the dates. Borderlands 2 is the apex of the Borderlands series. I'm hoping that when Borderlands 3 comes out later this year that it proves me wrong. But just for gameplay, for memorable locations, and just all of that, Borderlands 2 is absolutely untouchable in my eyes in the rest of the series. And the first time I played through the game, I played through as Zero. Zero is a cyborg ninja who pretty much uses just pistols and snipers, and he's pretty much my favorite out of the original playable characters. But when I wanted to go for the platinum, I actually played as Gage, the Necromancer. She is, without a doubt, my actual favorite character in this game. I loved her death trap ability. I loved everything about her pretty much. And when I started going on this journey, I didn't want to take the risk of using the Psycho. So I just did it. One of the other reasons why I wanted to talk about this game is that I am very excited to see how these characters come back for Borderlands 3. We've already kind of seen some of them get their bread and butter. Axiom came back for the Holodome DLC in the pre-sequel. Axton, I always say his name wrong. We've seen this lovely siren, 3 or 4 now that have been revealed in the game, as hanging out Myra. I always forget her name. I just remember his class as the Gunzerker. It's Salvador. It's just lovely, lovely road trip I'm taking right now. Coming back, Zero was in Tales of the Borderlands, which was cool as always. But so all the characters have kind of already begun to come back, and I'm excited to see where they continue and where they continue to push things. So excited that I turned this off, because otherwise this would not be great for copyright purposes. But now let's talk about the tips and tricks. This is the game that set up a lot of the trophies that would set up and begin a trend that we've seen kind of continue from here on out. So this is the game that added a bunch of challenges that you have to do, some of them being 100% based on, yeah, I have to push these guys, but absolutely love Gage. She's my favorite. Craig I never played as, and everyone else you have to play as for trophies, but I'm gonna just go as Zero, kind of just for just shits and giggles, because other than Gage, he is the character I have the most amount of time in. But you're gonna have to do one of every challenge, and there are a couple of things that you absolutely have to just grind out. So when you go ahead and look for the little looter guy, what you want to do is you want to go all the way up to where the bunker is and that whole area. Keep going up there and then keep coming back down, hitting up all of the lootable boxes along the way. If you're doing that properly, eventually it will a little looter bot will come out, and that's the guy you have to shoot. Unfortunately, you do. Unfortunately, that it's just based on RNG, and it's just something that you just have to grind out for. The other one that you kind of have to grind out for is for killing Donkey Kong, or Monkey Dong, or whatever his name is. The Donkey Kong, the legally different Donkey Kong character is another character. Is just another thing that you have to RNG. For him, he's gonna be one of the later games. So there's also that that you do have to keep in track with. A lot of the things in Borderlands 2 are actually pretty simple if you just remember that there are things that you have to do. Most of the trophies come down to discovering all the land masses, doing hey bud, right here. Doing all of the side missions, and it is going to require you to be a little bit of a completionist. You have to do all the side missions, discover all the areas, and just enjoy your journey. Fortunately, this game does a much better job of tracking your progress than the pre-sequel. Everything that you have to do, every location that you have to map out is actually mappable. If you see right ahead this dark mass on the minimap, once we actually get there, it gets cleared through and then it has counted, which is something that the other games don't really share that in common, which is something I was really disappointed, unfortunately. So what you just saw me there is begin a challenge. You're gonna have to do one of every single challenge that is only a part of the base game, not the DLC, and it can be a bit annoying. So there is that to keep in mind. This is also the game that saw a heavy spike in how much time you have to play as each character. If you're all going to do this for the easiest and quickest way possible, I would highly recommend playing it as Salvador. He is the Gunzerker, because his character trophy is a little bit different than anyone else's and require you to play the game just a little bit longer than any of the other characters. His trophy of being in Gunzerker mode for like, I believe it's like 20-30 seconds. It has been a little bit since I last played. Will require much more work than just doing anything else in the game. So there is that. So the other thing that you have to really keep in mind is that this game will pretty much require you to play through the base game twice. That is if you're only going to be playing the base game and not going to be doing anything else. You're all going to have to play through this game at least twice just to kind of get it through it all. If you don't want to do that, what you can do is you can get the DLC and go ahead and do that. Go ahead and play through there. The DLC is really fun, really enjoyable, in my opinion. It always kind of is, but it would still not get you all the way there. If you do absolutely everything in the DLC packs, it's still not going to get you that level 50 that you need. Which is a little bit of a disappointment. So you do have to put in a lot of time to get that final grind, but it is just a great time, and they do try to put in enough differences that you don't feel completely like you're just doing the same thing over and over again, which personally has always been a downside to these kind of like grind heavy games for me, but Borderlands does it in a way that's tolerable. So playing all through, this one being the last one I got from my dad while living with my dudes, it ends up being not a really, I wouldn't say emotional. Emotional is the wrong kind of word to put it to, but yeah, it is the kind of game that is like, oh well, I guess I can see where you're coming from. Now you can platinum this game pretty much 3 different times if you really want. Personally, that's not my style, but if you do want, you can platinum once on the PS3, once on the PS4, and once with PSVR. And personally, it is one of the games that I would honestly consider doing that. It's a whole lot of fun just playing through and going with all the silliness and intensity that Borderlands gives. I highly recommend it. And with Borderlands 2 being the height of the series, it's not surprised that it's a game that I absolutely love. Now, I am playing on the PS3 version because that is where I got the Platinum Trophy. I did mention that I had to pick the game up again, but I didn't mention which version I was playing, so there we go there. Some of the challenges I just saw are pretty simple to rank up on the first one. And most of the challenges really just require you to try different playstyles, try different things, and really just experience everything the game has to offer, which is much more preferable than trying to 100% all the challenges and everything. Which is another thing I'm really glad that they decided to do the way they decided to do it. Fighting through Handsome Jack and going through everything, learning, getting the reveals that are at the end of the game is mind-blowing. I don't want to get into too many spoilers since the Handsome Jack collection has kind of revived this game. Just kind of wanted to let this play. So I'm personally playing through the, as I would call this, the Borderlands pre-sequel right now, mostly because it's the game that I have to, it's the last game I'm doing in the series, and that's why I wanted to talk about Borderlands 2. So that's pretty much all you got. To start doing all the character missions specifically, you are going to have to get each character up to, at the very minimum, level 5. Salvador, to do his trophy, you are going to get up to like level 18. But that's just kind of how it is with his trophy. Getting each character level 5 would then unlock their action skill, which you can then go ahead and kill 100 different enemies with the action skill. If I remember properly, the first real boss where it ends up getting in that tank is going to be about where you need to be. It's going to be about where you need to be to get your 100 kills. And that's if you're doing every single kill with your action, which can get a little bit tedious and definitely changes the momentum of the game. But it is an option that you have at your disposal if that's how you want to do it. I did do it that way myself, but I also did it that way by doing absolutely everything, every side mission that the game had to offer at that point in the game. So keep in mind, it's not like a half measure, it is much more of a full measure than I'm making it sound. And even this can get kind of ridiculous. No, come on. And just like that, it's pretty much how I play the majority of this game. Pretty much by the skin of my teeth. So, you know. And if you didn't see that joke, well then... Did I just get an orange weapon? That's wild. I've never gotten an orange weapon this far into the game. So, that's the other thing that got really annoying in this game. The grind for all the legendary weapons and above. You originally need to get every single one of your inventory slots open, which I can show you really quick. All 6 of these inventory slots open with a purple or orange ranked item, which for me, I personally hated. I wasn't a big fan of it at all, and I ended up using the bunker boss fights to grind those out. But if you can just get it more naturally, more precious, more power to you. I did not, and that's why I had to do the grind. Okay, but that's pretty much all I got. All I got when it comes to tips and tricks. This game is going to require you to do everything at least once, and it's going to require you to 100% it. I did end up getting some randoms in the final stretch that helped me with the final raid boss and doing a lot of the last second things. So there is that to be aware of. Any of the dueling trophies can be done by just hooking up a second PS2 controller and doing it that way. So even though the servers are kind of dead, you don't really need them. So keep in mind. Alright, but that's all I really have to talk about, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go show you the Platinum Trophy, which I am a little bit disappointed about, I'm not going to lie. It's not exactly the best thing you can get out there, but it does the good, and I absolutely love the Borderlands franchise, so I'm not going to complain. So, let me claim this mission, and let me show you guys what the Platinum Trophy looks like. And there we are, the Borderlands 2 trophy, Borderland Defender Round 2. It's really just the logo of the game, which is really disappointing in my opinion. Wish they would have done a little bit more, just something, but they didn't. So that's all I really got for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Insane Raven. I'm gonna give it a rank because I just love this franchise so much. Even though the grinding was agonizing, everything, the end game grind was agonizing with the RNGs, and just the final leveling up was awful. Thanks, Zero. Thanks to that line. Oh, you guys didn't hear it because I put the game audio down. But yeah, just it's a solid trophy, middle of the road, but I am extremely proud of it. So I'm gonna say be proud of it, and I'm gonna call it that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.